live, Chef. This is so exciting. Okay, tell me about this cheese here.
Gorgonzola. Do you like blue cheese?
I do.
So this is like the Italian version of blue cheese.
They're relatives?
Well, they're all related, I would suppose. They're all made of milk and penicillin. But the Gorgonzola is kind of spicier. Has a little kind of side of the palate spice to it that I really like.
It's really good. Have you been listening to our podcast?
Creamy. I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm shocked for that answer because I was just going to keep asking you until you said that you had. I'm excited. Were you entertained?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird listening to myself on the podcast, but outside of that, it's good.
We just want to let people know that if you can't watch the whole episode right now, you can listen to tidbits of it, the best parts, we say.
The morsels. The tasty morsels.
Yeah, the tasty morsels. That's why he's here, folks. On our podcast. So just go to wherever you get podcasts and Google Springer Mountain Farms, the network, and we'll come up and you'll see the leftovers. So you can check us out there. Let people know what we're making today.
So we're going to do a bacon wrapped chicken breast with a little bit of blistered cherry tomato and arugula salad.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Let's pop up a picture of it. And there's that beautiful dish right there. And we're going to get to making it in about 30 seconds. I'm Cara Kneer, journalist, wife, host, and a mother of two. I'm joined by Chef Brian Carson, who has over 15 years of culinary experience. Together, we're going to take the mystery out of everyday ingredients you can find at Earth Fare. This and more on today's Cooking with Earth Fare. Hey everyone, welcome to Cooking with Earth Fare, brought to you by Springer Mountain Farms. I'm Cara Kneer. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Monday, everyone. We have a studio audience today. Thank you for being here. We're so excited to have you, and we're so excited to have you at home as well. There are so many ways that you can watch the show. You can go to Springer Mountain Farms Facebook page. We have a Roku channel. We have Cooking with Earth Fare's Facebook page. We have Earth Fare's Facebook page. There are ways to keep in contact with us, not only during the show, but after the show as well. You can look for us on Instagram or on Facebook at Cooking with Earth Fare, or on Twitter, #CookingWithEF. We are at an Earth Fare a little north of Atlanta in Cumming, Georgia, so you will see sights and sounds of an actual working Earth Fare. That's exciting. We know it is because some of you actually message us while you're shopping in an Earth Fare. So if you are, drop us a line, ask us a question if you are indeed shopping, because we love it when you do it, and we want to give away this $50 gift card to Earth Fare. We do this every show, so I'll announce the winner in about 20 minutes, but in order to win that, you have to go to slido.com and then enter the #CookingWithEF, and I will get it right up here on my tablet. I will ask Chef. He's super knowledgeable, and really it's hard to stump him. So keep the questions coming and you'll be entered to win that $50 gift card. I want to tell you what the secret ingredient is because we have one every week, so let's introduce Chef and get on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Brian Carson. Hello, my friend.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Fantastic.
Good, did you have a good 4th?
I did.
Good.
I did. Right, I had to work, but after that I got out a little bit early, had a good time.
Oh, nice. I had to work too. Did you make any of your glorious fried chicken?
No, you know what? I actually just ate hot dogs.
Oh, that's
But
nice.
I hadn't had a hot dog in a while, so it's good for me.
What do you put on your hot dog?
Oh, so that just depends on the mood.
Okay,
you know?
okay. Let me have it.
Definitely mustard. Definitely
Mustard, okay.
I also occasionally will do the same with like pickles and mayonnaise. That really freaks people out, but it's delicious in my opinion.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
I actually hadn't had a hot dog since I was in New York when I had a hot dog on the 4th.
Okay.
So that was
it was
big
special.
Difference. It was a special occasion to have a hot dog.
All right, good. I have 2 children, so I have hot dogs every other day. They are delicious.
Microwave and cut up into small pieces.
But not with mayonnaise or pickles. Yeah.
What about in mac and cheese? Did you ever have that?
Yeah. Yes.
Like mixed into mac and cheese?
Yes. It's
still
delicious.
good.
You get all the food groups that way. Okay, so we always tease on our Facebook page the secret ingredient, the special ingredient. We want to hear from you. You guys let us know if there's an ingredient you're perplexed about in your cupboards. I like to say cupboards. And we will help you formulate a dish around it. And today, the secret ingredient is...
Cherry tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes. No, grape tomatoes.
Same thing.
Oh, same thing. That you were trying to trick me with that one.
So when I was a kid, my grandfather used to call these Tommy toes.
Okay.
Because they're tomatoes and they're the size of a toe. It's Tommy toes.
That's really funny. I like that. I'm gonna steal that. Okay,
Please do. Not copyrighted. It's all right.
All right, perfect. Tell us about the dish, the level of difficulty, what we're getting into today.
So I would say the level of difficulty, so we are doing a salad, but we're doing it around the protein, which is gonna be the bacon wrapped chicken breast, as we talked about. Level of difficulty, I would say probably about a 4 to 5, just because, you know, it's still, some people aren't used to kind of taking bacon and doing something different with it, and even kind of getting into, we are doing a little bit of cutting of the chicken and fabrication.
Okay.
So,
all right.
We're gonna hop right in.
Let's get started.
So, basically, I want to bring this onto camera real quick. So we are taking, all we did was we took, let me scoot this over.
Yep.
We took our chicken breast. So this guy was just a normal chicken breast. He lived together like this. And all we did was we split it down the middle, right? And I'm going to show you how we use the bacon and wrap it so that we get what looks like these guys, which are going to be great, because what's going to happen is while the chicken's cooking, that breast that normally, you know, kind of dry meat, what we're gonna do is we're wrapping it in that bacon. It's gonna protect it. It's gonna offer flavor because bacon is delicious and fatty, but it's also gonna protect it and keep it from drying out.
All right.
So we're kind of doing more than just making it delicious and look cool. We're also making it, it has its own purpose.
Okay. All right, I like it.
So what we're gonna do is we've got our pieces of chicken cut in half, and all I've done with these is season them with salt and pepper only, all right? Very simple. So what I want to show you is we're going to take a couple pieces of bacon, and I'm going to pull these, because if you need to, you can use toothpicks. If you use the tuck method, which I'll show you, it should hold, but don't feel bad if you have to use toothpicks, you know? And we've talked about using toothpicks before, and I've talked about the whole story with my Nana and cakes, but we're going to move on. So the easiest way I like to do it is take the fat end of the chicken breast piece, kind of fold this at a downward angle. And that's important because we're gonna fold that, kind of stretch it over and fold it at a downward angle.
Okay.
Because then, I'm gonna switch my hands so the camera can see. I'll move that one this way. Then we fold over that tail. See how we just covered that up?
Yeah.
And then we just take this on around, all the way down, like that. And you can, the other thing is you can kind of stretch bacon a little.
Sure.
It'll give it a little stretch and make it fit all the way around. And then you just tuck that tail under that last piece there.
And we are going to be rolling out some technique videos, Springer Mountain Farms is, so keep your eyes peeled for that, because we do a lot of different chopping techniques, folding techniques, cutting techniques that you might not be aware of. So if you're watching Chef right now and you're like, I don't know if I can do that, it probably just takes a little practice, and then you'll get really good at it.
And it does, and honestly, like I said, you know, I talk about this all the time, but don't worry about it being pretty. I mean, we do eat with our eyes, but in this instance, what we're doing is we're trying to learn this thing, right? We're all I'm trying to teach you guys something. So if they don't look so pretty the first time, keep on trying.
It's all right, they're still gonna taste good. You can't go wrong with wrapping something.
And so if you're just afraid, I'll just go over this one more time. If you're afraid that that end is gonna come and you wanna use, or come loose, I mean, and you wanna use a toothpick, just take it and put it at an angle so that way it doesn't keep that side of the chicken from searing and sitting flat in the pan when we get going.
And maybe have a drawing at your dinner party. If you bite into the toothpick, you get $1.
Yeah, remember when you put toothpicks in. Yes, please do.
It'll be a fun game.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna just take a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Because we're gonna get this chicken cooking. It's gonna take the longest part.
Okay.
Or longest time, I mean, excuse me.
Sure.
So just a little bit of olive oil, not too much.
I was going to go ahead and tell you that Isra, fan of the show. Hi, Isra.
Hi.
We love when you write questions in. How do I keep a salad with tomatoes fresh? Sometimes I see that it spoils faster than when it doesn't have tomatoes. By the way, I tried the butter chicken recipe. Awesome. Did you take a picture of it and post it, Isra? We're excited for you. Let us know how it was. I'm sure it was delicious. But how do we keep tomatoes, to get back to your question, how do we keep the tomatoes fresh in the salad?
So the thing is that I think, are they asking how to keep the tomatoes in the salad fresh, or how to keep the salad fresh with tomatoes in it?
How do I keep a salad with tomatoes fresh?
Okay, so unfortunately, tomatoes are acidic, right? So because they are acidic, they're gonna break down stuff. So like lettuce is very light, or even heavier greens, arugula, stuff like that. So the acid is going to break those things down. Plus in a prior episode, we also talked a little bit about the gases that certain plants give off when they're, because when something's ripening, it's basically slowly deteriorating, right? So we want to catch it at that right time. That's what ripe, it's the ripest it's going to be. It's going to be the best that it is.
Okay.
So as that process is occurring on a molecular level in the plant, it releases different gases as it deteriorates. So those gases are those gases and the acidity, if they're cut tomatoes, will make that lettuce or the leafy green deteriorate faster. So there's not really any way to prevent that other than not adding the tomatoes, unfortunately. Just the same as you wouldn't want to keep a dressed salad. You know how after a while a dressed salad starts to get limp and loose. Even Caesar salad, where it's made with, you know, romaine, it's very hardy green, it still deteriorates over time.
Right. I try to keep all my salad separate, like unless I'm doing a kale and beet and goat cheese salad. That's the only one that really keeps in the fridge for me for like more than a few days. Otherwise,
kale and goat cheese and beets.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I try to keep them together. Thank you so much for your question, Isra.
That's also the gas thing is also why, you know, you've ever heard somebody say like, oh, if you need a banana to ripen or something, you put it in a paper bag.
Right.
It's the same concept because the paper bag traps the gas.
Got it.
So that's what causes those things.
All right.
So we'll get right into the next part of our recipe here.
Okay.
This is a great question though. And I'm so happy that they cooked the butter chicken because to me that was one of the dishes that we've done that was like a little bit off the beaten path.
Sure.
Cooking Indian food at home is not necessarily normal. So for you to, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
I love it.
So I'm gonna just remove this lid real quick because I don't need it right this second. I might in a minute. What we're gonna do this first just so our tomatoes have a chance to cool down, but we're gonna blister them like I did promise you in the recipe. So we're gonna take a little bit of that olive oil again. Not a whole lot, just a little bit.
And by the way, if you go to springermtn.com, the ingredients, everything is laid out for you there. So
the ingredients, the amounts.
I feel like you have to follow this and write it down.
Right. And also I just cook by feeling here, but it's all written down, I promise. It is. So our chicken's going, we're gonna get our pan hot with a little bit of olive oil. And really the idea here with the blistering technique is we're gonna throw the tomatoes in whole just like they are in a little bit of slightly hot grease. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna get a little bit of char on some of the skin. They're gonna kind of, you'll see them, they'll kind of start to pop. That's why we got the screen today.
Okay.
But you kind of want them to explode a little bit because what's happening is all that liquid in there is getting hot and expanding and then the skin is holding it. And what happens is you're gonna see we end up with this little bit of tomato juice and olive oil mixture that's in the pan that also is gonna kind of be there as a dressing on the salad as well.
Okay.
Definitely not a dry salad.
All right, excellent.
Just gonna check on these.
We have another question from Gail's Fan 89. Thank you so much, Gail's Fan. What is better for kebabs, cherry or grape tomatoes? Gail, you missed it at the beginning because cherry and grape tomatoes are what?
Pretty much, they're just the same thing. It's, as far as my knowledge goes, it's just a marketing term. Oh. So, like even when
I feel bamboozled. My whole life has been a lie.
So I would say maybe a grape and a cherry are about the same size. So, and you see, there's all kinds of different ones too. There's the cherub ones that come in the little thing, and they call them all kinds. It's like potatoes. There's new potatoes and baby potatoes and fingerlings. It's just another way to get you to buy them.
Okay, I'm sorry, Gail. We've been lied to our whole lives.
I would say use a larger tomato than this. So when you see some of the bigger kind of tomatoes that are more round and not oblong, I would use those if I was going to do a kebab.
Okay.
Just because they've got a little bit more flesh to put down, and they're going to hold up a little bit longer while you're trying to cook a piece of steak or a chicken or something like that.
Got it.
If you're doing an all-vegetarian kebab, you could probably go with a smaller tomato.
Okay.
So, as promised, we're going to get some action right here. I'm going to use this guy real quick. So, we're not. You hear them starting to kind of pop and whistle. And notice as you look in the pan, you see these little white spots?
Yeah.
That's that blistering. It's already starting to take place just that quickly. And you see how much that turns into.
Let me get a close up with my Cara cam.
Don't get too close. I don't want you to get burned. It might pop at you.
I won't get it. I just want to see if we can see the white spots on there. How cool is that? Yes. It's all happening, Chef.
That's right. And you notice how they're starting to, the skins are starting to split? We're going to add just a little bit of salt at this point.
Okay.
Just because it's going to make them that much more delicious. And we're going to kind of cover those up for a second, just in case they start to explode. Oh, I just cut the camera off, didn't I?
That's all right. Jenna Leah wants to know, great question, Jenna Leah, how do you keep the tomatoes, from getting too mushy?
When we're in this recipe?
Yes.
It's a matter of really, we kind of want a little bit of mush to them. We're not looking for a crispy tomato. But the other thing is you're gonna see that right about now, when we have, we'll let those go a little bit longer. You basically want to see the color and the skin start to split, but you don't want to see them start to puddle and they'll kind of smash and start to get flat. Because even though the skin is popped on here, see, I'll pull this out of the pan. Even though the skin is popped, this tomato's not, it still has all of its integrity. It's not soft. So that's what we're looking for.
Here, do that again, Chef. Do that again, because I just got a shot up.
Sorry.
That way it's not smushed completely.
Yeah, see, like, I mean, I can, this guy's still good to go.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking for. We want to have that integrity of the tomato itself, but what we're doing is we're adding flavor both from the olive oil and from the color. And we're gonna try to get a little bit of, yeah, really see, we're starting to get a little bit more color. And that's what we really want. Okay.
Thank you for the question, Jenna-Leah. Great question.
It was a great question.
Ooh, yeah, look at that.
Those look great. So I'm just checking on the chicken, making sure we're trying to get all those pieces of bacon on there crispy. And we all know that chicken breasts cook pretty quickly. So, and see how this guy over here, he's been in a cold spot in the pan, so he's not quite caramelized. We're gonna move him to the middle and try to get him crisped up. Nobody wants to eat floppy bacon.
No. No, sir.
No, sir. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
I'm just gonna roll those
That'll
over.
ruin a good time.
It will. Floppy bacon ruins it every time.
It does.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about, we're gonna make the dressing for this. So if you will, hand me that bowl.
I will.
Thank you. And we're gonna talk about, I've been hitting the cheese section back there pretty hard. I do love cheese, I have to say that. But I also love that they have so many great cheeses here at Earth Fare, and you can buy like little, they take big wheels of it, like we did the feta.
Yes, I've been dreaming about that feta.
And now we've got gorgonzola today, which is just an Italian blue cheese. It does have a little bit different flavor to me. It's got a little bit of a side spice. We kind of talked about that. When you eat it, you feel it and taste it on the side of your palate. It's also very creamy. So it's great to do sauces with. One of my favorite things to do is this and wild mushrooms with a little bit of butter, melted in a pan, poured over a steak.
Okay, yeah,
it'll get you every time. Yeah. So if you weren't hungry before, you are now, right? So
always hungry.
The thing with this is we're gonna take, and you don't want super big crumbles because we are making a blue cheese or a gorgonzola vinaigrette. So the difference here is if you've had blue cheese dressing, it's a creamy dressing. We're not making that. Okay. All right. What we're doing is this is going to be vinegar, oil, that sort of thing. So.
But I like a little, I like when you get a little chunky bite.
Oh yeah, and this is all going to be basically chunks of blue cheese floating in vinegar, which is, to me, that's heaven.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
So, we've got our blue cheese in our bowl here. We've got some red wine vinegar.
Okay.
And you could substitute other vinegars. I would say you do want to kind of have a sharp vinegar. So, balsamics are typically a sweeter vinegar. Even white balsamic, your red balsamics too. They're just naturally a sweeter vinegar.
Okay.
Whereas red wine typically has a little bit higher acidity, a little bit tartar. Oh, the cheese, you can smell? Yeah. So hold on, I just had to stop talking for just a second.
No,
There we go.
So the perfect bite, since we are eating this in a salad, like are we serving this over greens, would be to kind of get everything together, right?
Absolutely, and that's what you're gonna get, is you're gonna get tartness and acidity from the red wine vinegar. You're gonna get the pepperiness from the arugula. You're gonna have this beautiful natural sweetness from the tomato, because also cooking them like this has increased their sweetness. Do you want to try one of those right now?
Yeah.
Kind of?
Sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
Here,
not?
I'll cut it. It's a little hot. I'll cut it in half, but you'll see what I'm saying. And here, let me move this. I want to get this on camera so everybody knows that we still have texture. Like I can slice that tomato. Yeah. So that's what you want to see.
Okay.
And when you taste that, So you see how the sweetness, you get a little bit of that
it's so good.
Caramelization.
Just a tomato.
Yeah,
it's great.
Delicious. So we've got our vinegar and our blue cheese, or our gorgonzola. We're gonna add some olive oil.
Okay.
Not that much olive oil, because the blue cheese is so creamy, the gorgonzola is so creamy, you need that acid. So we're actually gonna do that. We're gonna add a little bit of oregano for some herbaceousness.
Okay. I
And then
like it.
the thing that's really gonna kind of make it pop is we're gonna do some lemon zest.
All right.
So.
That's great. Why you zest that lemon? Kathy wrote in. Thank you, Kathy, for the question. She says, hi, Chef. Have you ever cooked with green tomatoes other than frying them?
Green, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pickled green tomatoes is one of my favorite things. I've also done some stuff where you take them and sear them. So like you can grill them as well, but basically just season them with salt and pepper. You can use some herbs, whatever. I would say add the herbs later.
Yeah.
But throw them right on the grill. You get a little bit of chard to them.
Okay.
And then because they're green tomatoes, they're a lot higher in acidity, and they're great.
Okay.
So I would definitely say try pickling them, try grilling them. Also, green tomato salsa, you can kind of sub it like a tomatillo. And it's delicious. It has a different flavor, but it's still very, very good.
All right, thanks for the question, Kathy. Let us know if there's something that you specialize in with a green tomato. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. All right, so we're getting.
That smells good.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Can't beat the smell of bacon. Morning, afternoon.
This smells good too. That's what I was
Oh
saying.
yeah. So you see how all of our chicken has got nice caramelization. We got nice crispy bacon bits. That's what we want.
Okay.
So now we're gonna start getting our salad ready. And actually we're gonna add, I totally forgot this, but obviously.
It's all right, nobody else knows that now but you, Chef.
Black pepper
I told everybody.
and salt.
Okay.
And I will say, be careful with the salt because the gorgonzola and blue cheese in general has a tendency to kind of be salty.
Okay.
So go easy on the salt, the dressing. Like I say all the time, you can add more, you can't take it away. And I'm actually gonna try this before we go making this salad.
Okay.
I don't wanna hand you something. That's my worst nightmare, is that I hand you something and you're like,
It's your worst
that's
nightmare,
great.
Chef.
I mean, it's kind of like
No.
in front of
Worry
everybody.
about other things. I'm gonna
Oh.
like it, I promise. I promise.
Yes,
It's good.
it's good. That's
Okay.
what we want. So, real easy. Take another bowl. Take some beautiful baby arugula.
I've been on a real arugula kick lately.
It's good, isn't
It's
it?
so delicious, yes.
I love it. I just love how peppery it is.
Yeah. My 3-year-old says, Mom, are you eating leaves again? Like, I am. They're so delicious.
Set
Those
this
leaves,
right there.
okay?
So we're gonna take our tomatoes.
Okay, another question from Jenna Leah. Do you find chicken burns before it cooks using the bacon?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I mean, I like a little bit of dark crispiness. So like even here, like if you look at this piece, which I would say is the darkest piece in the pan, and we're gonna pull it out anyway because we're gonna use it.
Okay.
So that's not black. That's just beautiful, crispy, golden brown.
That's accomplishment, Jenna
Yeah.
Leah. That's good. But I understand her question because it's difficult to tell. We normally get that question anyway, like how do you tell when the chicken's done?
Totally. And with chicken breasts, it's a lot easier, but the thing I love about the bacon is like by the time the bacon is crispy, there's no reason that this piece of chicken breast shouldn't be perfectly cooked. If you look at this, I mean, you can't get much more perfect than that.
That looks
It's
amazing.
just beautiful and juicy. And you can plate this recipe a ton of different ways. I'm gonna kind of do it my favorite.
Okay.
So we have our dressing.
Right.
We've got our salad. We're gonna give that a good stir, and we're
Okay.
gonna make sure that we kind of scoop from the bottom
Okay.
when we're adding it because we wanna make sure we don't lose,
Put this in here so
sorry.
everybody can see it. I'm just
make sure we
gonna
don't
follow you.
lose any of those beautiful crumbles.
Oh, that's
right?
nice. Perfect.
You might not need all of that or reserve
Okay,
that.
I'll drink that later.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're just gonna give this a little bit of a stir. I will say the reason we let the tomatoes cool is so that we don't break down this arugula because we don't want this arugula to get too wilted or kind
Are
of
you gonna
relaxed.
add all those tomatoes, or you're just doing it a little at a
I just
time?
did a little bit at a
Okay.
time because
Okay.
I also like to make sure that I'm gonna feed everybody in the audience and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I wanna make one, yeah.
You're very
we're gonna
courteous, very kind.
We try to take care
I
of
know you
everybody
do.
here.
You always do.
So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take 3 of our good looking fellas here,
Okay.
or ladies.
There we go.
Just go like that, and just kind of like you saw in the picture. What we're gonna do is use the best hand we got or best tool we got in the kitchen, our hands.
Okay.
Kind of get a nice little
Free?
grouping
Those are
of
free?
this arugula. That's right. Right on top.
Oh, that's
and then
great.
make sure that we get several of our tomatoes on there. And then
It's
we're
nice.
gonna go back for the kill. Gonna get a little bit of that juice.
Now,
give it
could
a
you
nice
make any of
drizzle.
the vinaigrette beforehand, or would you?
You
do
could,
it all-
you
okay.
could. And the vinaigrette will hold. The thing I'll just say is like, because it is cheese in there, just watch out, because as cheese sits in liquid, it has a tendency to get creamier or look creamier, because it, as you can see in the bowl, there we go. See how that liquid down at the bottom is very creamy already, just from being in there for a short time. But this will hold, I would say, 3 to 4 days in the
cheese.
With the cheese. 3 to 4 days, not a problem, and you could eat it at any point. And it's not really that it's going to go bad. It's going to break down, and it's going to all start to taste the same. So you won't get all the beautiful flavors and up and downs that you get with it now.
All right. Look at that dish. Chef Brian Carson, ladies and gentlemen. That looks lovely. Yes. Okay. And the winner of our $50 gift card to Earthvale is Gail's Fan. Gail, thank you so much for asking a question. Thank you for everyone that asked questions. We so appreciate it. We want you to keep asking questions, keep engaging with us. As you've just seen, Chef Brian is super knowledgeable and loves to share his love of cooking with all of you. And this is my favorite part of my job every week.
That
never gets old. Yes. I mean, I'm so excited.
I think our audience is getting pretty excited too. I think I can smell the bacon.
I know. Well, yes, yes. That's worth a lot of round of applauses for sure. Thank you to Earth Fair. Thank you to Springer Mountain Farms.
Absolutely.
Thank you to you for watching. Cheers, and until next week, we'll see you back here, same place, same time. Bye, everyone.